Hi, I'm David Bird, engineer at Corten Steel. In today's video we're going to compare the Corten raised garden bed system I designed against the wooden alternative, which is fast and easy to assemble. In answer to the question, which is the best raised garden bed kits? We're in one of our storage sheds surrounded by new blue steel, which is used for assembling the raised garden bed kits. This video will compare wood against Corten and answer the 6 important questions you need to know before choosing your raised garden bed. 1. Lifespan. 2. Size and shape. 3. Food safety. 4. Soil temperature. 5. Visual. And 6. Price. The six sections of the video: lifespan, size and shape, food safety, soil temperature, the visual, and finally the price. As an engineer, I love steel. Steel is 20 times stronger than timber and it has known engineering properties. So that's my bias, and that's why I'm a steel supplier selling Corten steel for retaining walls, planters and raised garden beds. Steel has a superior thickness to strength ratio, about 20 times that of timber. They did tie timber cars shortly after the horse and buggy days, but they abandoned that for steel cars. So steel is far stronger. Outside in the wind, rain, snow, frost, scorching sunshine, wood warps, splits, cracks, bows, does all those things that steel doesn't do. So wood is an inferior product to steel, however wood often has a cost. In-ground timber has a very short lifespan unless treated, and for raised garden beds, treated timber is generally not used. The life expectancy of timber when untreated is approximately 3 to 7 years, depending on the humidity, moisture, type of timber being used, and thickness of timber. If one is using a very thin timber, it will rot faster, it will warp, twist. In fact, this piece of timber here is already warped and it hasn't even been near the ground. The solution, or the paradox, is to start to go for thicker timber. 4 times the thickness, less likely to warp and twist, will behave itself better. However, often this timber is sold by the cube, 4 times the cost. The next solution is to go for even heavier timber, where you've got 4 inches approximately and 12 inches approximately. So you can get some quite heavy timber that will do the job, and you can stack up and make a very sturdy raised garden bed. The issues with this is cost, and also we start to get into space issues. So that 4 pieces of timber takes up a lot of space, so you've got 4 walls, you've got less soil, and your aisle between for moving your wheelbarrow through is less. If we look at 4 pieces of steel, 1, 2, 3, 4, far less space taken up. Plus, Corten steel with a 50-year lifespan, far longer than timber, takes up far less space, and stays structurally straight and true, doesn't warp, split, crack, bow, and rot. That means that you have to replace it quite quickly. Putting a drip feed irrigation system into a raised garden bed is often a must-have labour-saving device. However, the cost and expense of doing that may be not worthwhile if the garden bed isn't going to last much more than 5, 6, 7 years. Also, the constant moisture that you're going to get will be, while great for plants, will also accelerate the rot that you'll get with a timber raised garden bed. Again, none of these issues with the Corten steel, so Corten steel is a far superior product to untreated timber. Corten steel is also 6 times thicker than the corrugated tin, which means you can't scratch it, puncture it, rip it, and it is self-repairing in that it will just, if you do scratch it with a wheelbarrow, the steel will reform the rust patina over the scratch, no repairs, no maintenance. Interestingly, on YouTube there are some garden content creators who are now posting how-to videos on how they're replacing their rotten wooden raised garden beds with steel garden beds. Not only are they replacing the garden beds with steel, they're making them with bigger aisles, they're making the garden beds deeper, because they've found through experience that the best solution is a steel product with a wide aisle and approximately 24 inches tall of soil. Okay, that's lifespan dealt with. Now we'll get on to size, shape, considerations. Now, Corten steel system I've designed has got thousands of options in size, different lengths, different heights, different widths. So you can order a kit set by going online and just seeing the sizes. Not only do we do rectangular, which is probably the most common, we can also do round, oblong, L-shaped kit sets, and the typical time to assemble one of these kit sets is approximately 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the size of it. That's far faster than it takes you to drive to the big box and get the wood materials. So size options for the Corten are almost identical, if not more, than for the timber. So there's no advantage either way in size or shape. Corten is just as good as timber wooden raised garden beds. So we're now on to food safety. With timber, as long as you're using untreated timber, there should be no issues with food safety. Treated timber historically had an arsenic treatment, but they've stopped using that. However, there's still a great reluctance amongst a lot of gardeners to use any treated timber. So this decision to avoid treated timber impacts on lifespan, but all things being equal, Corten steel is inert, untreated timber is inert, no food safety issues, and additionally with the Corten steel, prior to filling the steel, the inside of the raised garden bed is lined with a liquid rubber membrane. This helps with lifespan of the Corten steel. But again, no issues on the food safety front. So food safety, Corten versus timber, they're both good. Okay, we're now on to soil temperature. This is interesting because there's quite a few comments on the internet that steel garden beds have a higher soil temperature than other garden beds. I'm going to try as an engineer to throw a little bit of science on this. Generally with a, we'll just clear this off. Generally with a raised garden bed you try and run it east to west. So you have the sun comes in predominantly along the long side. Now this means that for 6 hours of the day you have the afternoon sun putting heat on one side of your raised planter bed. Now you'll find on YouTube the people who have stuck the thermometer right down here and said that the temperature is quite high. But if they go in 2 or 3 inches, the temperature is normal, and for the rest of the raised garden bed, the temperature is normal. So on that hot sunny day where the scientists, or non-scientists, put their thermometer on the edge, they got a reading which was a few degrees warmer. Now, Obviously, as the sun tracks around, this gets cooler and that side may get warmer, and this side may get warmer depending on how the sun passes around, or the sun. If you want to get really mathematical about it, at one time you've only got maybe 2 inches or 50 millimetres of soil along the long side, which is slightly warmer than average. If your planter bed is 48 inches wide, the mathematics of this is that 2 divided by 48 is approximately 4% of your soil might be slightly warmer than average. So soil temperature, in my opinion, is not a major. There's another interesting word that I've learnt recently. It's called thermotropism. The thermotropism is what plants do in that they grow towards the environments they like, and plant roots also have thermotropism, which means the roots go to where the soil temperature is best for that plant. This is best exhibited in desert plants, which put their roots deep down into the moist, cool soil, and therefore the plant becomes drought tolerant. So all plants exhibit this. If the soil is too hot or too cold, the roots will not grow in that direction, they'll grow in the direction of where the soil is just right. So the soil temperature, with a bit of science, is not an issue. The other thing that happens for soil temperature, which will affect the health and well-being of plants to a far greater effect, is whether you put the hoops over the top of your raised garden bed, and on those hoops you can place insect cloth, shade cloth or frost cloth. Now that will have a far greater effect on the microclimate of your raised garden bed, and probably increase the growing period by 3 to 4 weeks at the beginning of the season and 3 to 4 weeks at the end of the season. So in my opinion, steel versus timber, the outside soil temperature is not an issue. So that's soil temp covered. Okay, so now we're on to the second to last topic before we go into visual, before we go into price. Now this is very subjective. What I like may be not what you like. However, I'll run through some of the points to consider. Every week I get hundreds of drawings sent to me for costing up raised garden bed planters. A lot of these have been drawn by landscape architects, and what I've noticed is that landscape architects and designers love using Corten steel because the orange ochres and hues give a really great contrast for the green plants that pop out against them. Again, they use the Corten in commercial, office buildings, gardens, where they want great visual impact, lovely straight true lines, that modern architectural garden, the sort of garden that you may see in some of the high-end architectural magazines. That's where the Corten is predominantly used, and in the backyards the landscape designers have been using the Corten more and more for those visual high points in the garden, and positioning the wooden planters a bit further back where they're not so visual, so that when they do deteriorate and warp and crack, etc., those raised garden beds are out of sight. So now we're on to price. On day one, Corten steel is likely to be more expensive than a wooden raised garden bed. But over the 50-year lifespan of the Corten steel and replacing several wooden garden beds, the costs will most likely balance out. Also, the purpose of a raised garden bed is to reduce labour, reduce your time and effort in the garden, and if you have a chore or a scheduled maintenance of every 5 years, 7 years, replacing your wooden raised garden beds, that's possibly not what you intended when you installed your raised garden beds. Visual design life versus structural design life. So visually, the wooden garden beds, after 3 to 5 years, they may have warped, they may have split, they may not be looking 100% attractive, but they're still structurally good. And there'll be a few more years of life in them where they're structurally okay, visually not okay, before they fully rot out. So it is a trade-off, the visual design life versus the structural design life. So with a Corten raised garden bed, in 7 years' time it will still be straight, true, looking good. The same is unlikely to be of an untreated wooden garden bed, but no two environments are the same. Now the Corten raised garden bed system that I've designed is very cost competitive for Corten because all the parts are mass produced. There's some of them around here now that you can see, and by mass producing the parts and assembling them on site, that brings the cost down. Think IKEA, think Lego. It's a very modular system with thousands of sizes available. I endeavoured to get the price for Corten down as low as possible and give you the flexibility of size and shape and design. This is part of being an engineer. I was taught to design products that were cost effective over their design life. So if one was going to build a wooden bridge that only lasted 5 to 10 years, the design philosophy is that no, you do it in steel that will last 50 to 100 years, and over the design life of the project, the steel product is far superior. The same applies with raised garden beds. Generally over the design life, the Corten raised garden bed will be more cost effective. However, if you're a renter and you just want some cheap food and a cheap raised garden bed for your family, probably the best option is not Corten. You're probably better off making it out of second-hand pallet timber and getting 2 to 3 years food for your family. So price depends on what your expectations are and what you require from the product and the garden. In my opinion, the raised garden bed at the front of your property has to look good to add value, and therefore that's where the Corten raised garden beds are fantastic. At the backyard, then you could potentially use your timber raised garden beds where they warp, they twist, they are not perfectly straight, but it doesn't detract from the overall property value. On our website you'll find thousands of raised garden bed layouts, all priced up, so that you can make a cost-benefit analysis of Corten versus wood at the time of purchase. Feel free to contact me. The details are in the description below to our website. Again, I'm David Bird, engineer at Corten Steel, and thank you for watching this video.